Hi, Stro. Welcome back to the channel, mate. Obviously, we know you're a Liverpool fan. Give me your thoughts on that game.
Wasted 90 minutes of my life. It's just how I feel. It was just so boring to watch. I mean, Everton, apart from the last 5-10 minutes when Donkey came on, literally just never looked like they wanted to be anywhere near that game. Just sat back, no interest. It was shocking to watch, to be honest. I thought Kite had a good game. That's a positive. I thought Minamino shown glimpses for the first 10-15 minutes, and then he was just isolated out of the game. But it was such a boring game, and I'm just more frustrated than anything. I just feel, obviously, I'm getting to the point now where I know it's done. I just want it done sooner rather than later, and I just feel like I'm starting to get that impatient now. I just want it over the line. I've waited so long for it, and they're just keeping me waiting.
I hear that. I sort of feel like this. Liverpool are killing it, and I'm not. You know, we've spoken many times now. I don't show any disrespect towards Liverpool. I don't show any disrespect towards what they've achieved. But this Liverpool team want to go down in history, and they've got an opportunity to go down in history because if they don't, they're in such a strong position to break the points record, and that etches your name into, again, winning the league title is everything. But, you know, there was talk of an invincible season that went, talk of a treble season that went. You know, you can break records. You know, if you just sort of stumble through this remainder of the season and end up on 95 points, that's amazing. But it's almost like, oh, it could have been so much more. And maybe I'm looking at it from a winner's point of view, thinking maybe I'm being greedy on behalf of Liverpool fans, and maybe none of you care. But it just kind of feels with, and hear what I'm saying here. You're going to win it not in front of your fans. You're not going to get a parade instantly. And I know you'll get it in maybe in 5-6 months, and people will still celebrate, but it won't ever feel the same as getting it instantly. To then go out and go, oh, you know, we could have done 110 points, 105 points. We could have broke City's record. We could have done something that staked a massive claim into, we're going to be the biggest team, the best team ever in Premier League history. Are you fearful that the season could just dwindle out and you win it, but it almost has an air of an anticlimax to it? Or am I being unfair?
Yeah. No, I think you're 100% spot on, to be honest. My problem is the one thing I've wanted to avoid throughout this whole process was having to go to the Etihad and get the 3 points there. So obviously, if City don't drop any points tomorrow at Burnley, we still need 6 points. And the second game is away at the Etihad, and that was the one thing I didn't want to do because it's just added pressure that we don't need. And the problem then is if we lose that game to City, then what happens? We're not in a great run of form before the actual when everything got shut down anyway, and it just seems like that was just seemed like a stroll in the park. And yeah, I understand there's been no football for months, and people are rusty. Like Trent didn't look like normal Trent with his delivery was a bit off, and his touch was a bit off, and I completely understand that. But my problem now is if we get beat at the Etihad, what kind of an impact is that going to have going forward? Because I mean, you've seen it today. No Robertson, no Salah. The forward three, if any of them get an injury, it doesn't look great depth-wise, which is the whole reason why I was frustrated at the fact that we lost out on the Timo Werner thing. And I'm sorry, but if there's ever a time that someone at Liverpool, Michael Edwards-Klopp, needs to think we need a centre-back, it was the 10 minutes that Donkey came on the pitch. Absolutely shocking. Yeah. He is awful. His ego is out of control. For him to turn around a year and a half ago and say, I'm the best defender in the world, and come out with shambolic performances like that. I mean, Carragher hit the nail on the head when he turned on. He said he just wants to get involved in a fight with you. Everything's about his ego. He's a joke. How he's at Liverpool Football Club is absolutely beyond me. Awful defender. He wouldn't get into any of the top 6 teams. He's just another David Luiz. That is exactly what he is. He's awful.
Mate, I agree, and I think that's an area that needs to be addressed by Liverpool because, look, you've been majestic this season. I make you favourites for next year, but who knows what happens? Who knows what happens in next season? Van Dijk, inexplicable. You know, we saw what happened to Leno yesterday. Split second, season can be over. Van Dijk drops out, and then Gomez picks up an injury for 2 or 3 months. If you end up next season having to play a 3-month spell with Lovren as your one of your main centre backs, that could be a difference. And I think that for Liverpool not to address it, that would be poor. You know, you can buy a backup player like a Tyrone Mings is better than him, and you could probably pick him up for £25 million if Villa go down as an example. That's what I'm not talking about breaking banks here. It needs to be done. Again, the Liverpool situation is an interesting one because I think you also want to finish the season strong. That's how I feel as a trying to be neutral watching it. you don't want to end the season in this poor run of form, and then had the short, because it's going to be a short preseason. I think we're going to see a 6 to 7 week turnaround before the new season begins again, and it'll be money that will dictate that. You almost don't want to start the season on a negative, and it almost feels to me like that could end up being the case with Liverpool. I think what also stood out as well is this ring rust for everybody, and I totally get that. And a lot of and this is why the other night I was pushing back on United fans that wanted to be, oh, you know, this player that, and Fred this, and this ain't good enough, and oh, you know, the mistake from this player, maybe not the Harry's made a lot. We've seen, even like, I thought Chelsea looked good today, but every single set of fans who've watched their team play have gone, oh, we all look really rusty and poor. We missed good opportunities that we normally would take. We've all made mistakes that we normally wouldn't. There's just this element of everyone needs to relax for the next 2 or 3 games, because everybody will get better in that regard. But yeah, it was interesting, really. If you were an alien, you came down from space and someone said, oh, Liverpool, best team in the world, watch them play. And you watch that game, you go, what? You know, for a second, I thought Roy Hodgson was in charge again. Like it was, and that was more because of what happened. But I actually think as well, Everton were mainly to blame for me. Everton, as I said, their biggest game of the season, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the thing with Everton is, whenever the fixtures come out, obviously for Liverpool fans, we look for the big games, the U, when are we playing U, the Manchester City. Then we look at Everton because it is just a derby, and that's just postcode wise. Like I've never really classed them as our biggest fans, and it's for reasons like this. Whereas as an Everton fan, everything they do is tailored around stopping us somehow. We drew better last year and we missed out on the league by 2 points, and straight away every Everton fan was, oh, we stopped you winning the league. That's like as good as winning a trophy for them, and that's embarrassing. A club the size of Everton are a massive club and could be a huge club if they got everything right. But I'm sorry, the spending's been completely wrong. I mean, Jordan Pickford in there, like, have a word. Like, he's nowhere near good enough to be a top 6 goalkeeper. He's not good enough to be England's number 1. I think that should be Henderson. But Everton, it's just everything they seem to do is tailored around what Liverpool are doing. And don't get me wrong, from I think it was around the 2000 to about the 2013, Liverpool started to look at what Manchester United were doing. And we started to try, what can we do what United are doing? How can we get like United? How can we stop United? And we just fell into a rut. And then obviously Rodgers came in, and then Klopp came in and just went, look, completely forget about history. You need to start focusing on yourselves. Everything needs to do that. You need to find an identity. They honestly do, because the Merseyside derbies at Anfield, it's always a good game because they've got nothing to lose. So they just come out and play. But whenever we go to Goodison, it's just like, they're scared, and
it's weak. It's weak and it's fragile. They've got an inferiority complex. It's almost this element of I get a sense now that Everton fans all across Liverpool are celebrating the draw. We didn't, 100%. They won't look at the context of the break and be like, well, Liverpool score against. I mean, I don't know if is this the only game this season you haven't scored? Well, you didn't score in the Watford game. I don't think.
Not in the Watford game.
You scored in every other game. Barring that, I think, as an example, that's what they'll celebrate. That's what Everton we stopped the supposed best Premier League team ever from scoring. Everton fans will make T-shirts. They'll make T-shirts when it
more to the point. The players, sorry to cut you off, the players are completely buying into it as well. This means like Richarlison with his comments, oh, well, I'm someone that's dribbled past Van Dijk this season. What does that even mean?
Oh, mate.
What you are meant to be a future Brazil international. You've just been bought for a couple of seasons ago for £50 million. That's not short change. That's a lot of money, especially for a club the size of Everton, right? For you to even come out with a comment like that is a joke. And then you've got someone like Moise Kean when he first came to the club. Oh, I'll be happy if I score 7 goals. What are you doing as a club? Like, how is this allowed? Who is in their PR team that's letting them leak such utter nonsense like this? They're honestly, I tell you. You know me, I don't really get this infuriated. They wind me up so much as a club because I just do not understand it at all. But I mean, Richarlison's comments are an absolute farce. I'd be embarrassed.
Petty. It's Team Petty the whole way when it comes to them. And I've been looking at it and I just think to myself, why? Like, I get, I mean, there's loads of little petty things I get with football fans, right? So I like Tony Bellew, the fighter. But I watched him on a show recently. He was on the League of Their Own, and he was on the red team.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't wear the red shirt. And I'm like, you do realize? I know Liverpool wear red, but you do realize like red's just a color. and it wouldn't wear it. The fact that Everton Santa Claus dress up in blue, things like that, I just think that's the inferiority complex. Like I would wear, I've got sky blue t-shirts. I don't think, oh no, man, shitty. Oh my God, it makes me look weak. I listen to the Beatles. That doesn't mean oh no, the Beatles are from Liverpool. Oh my God, that makes I'm weak. No, it's weak. It's like the reverse of being alpha when you're so intimidated by them. No, I'm not having red. I won't have anything red in my house at all. With nothing red at all. No. Not even red top milk. No, not even red top milk in my house. It's not happening. These people are weak. These people are genuinely weak, and it makes me laugh. But Stro, listen, I appreciate you coming on, mate. And we'll chat to you again soon. Take care, buddy.
See you soon.